Hi, my name is Alexis. My job is to help you get back with your ex. In today's video, I'm gonna explain you the recipe to get back with your ex. I came up with the idea when I was cooking this morning because we have friends over for dinner. So I'm gonna explain you the ingredients that make a couple to get back together, the method, what you should be doing in order to get back with your ex, and you'll see you'll be equipped and be ready to go for dinner and reunite with your ex thanks to this recipe. And it's basically based on experience and client coaching that I have had in the past. So, hundreds of clients that I had in the past. So I really took what worked and a little bit like a grandmother's recipe, it took a bit of iteration to find the right one and to understand what works. And also what I'd love to have, is it's gonna be new in this channel, a little bit like a recipe that you see online, you can also comment and contribute. I love cooking, and very often when you have like a recipe that you like, you have people like telling, oh yeah, I just added a pinch of salt at the end, or I've just added this ingredient. So I'd love for you to contribute on this video. This is your video, this is your channel. Please use it and contribute and help also other people who are in the same situation. I'll explain everything after the jingle.
IGetMyExBack.com. Everyone deserves a second chance.
So let's start with the ingredients. What makes a good breakup recovery? What do you need in order to get back with your ex? The first thing you need to have is to have had a real relationship. If you were planning to get married, to have kids, if you had plans, if you heard from your ex that, I've never been like this with anyone before, with someone like this before. It's the first time I say I love you. All this kind of stuff, showing that it is strong, it is a serious relationship. Okay, you can continue watching. Second ingredient is to be motivated. It's really, really important. It is almost one of the top three, it's amongst the top three ingredients that you need to get back with your ex. And the reason I say that, and also the reason I'm going to be very blunt, I don't coach people if I feel that they're not 100% committed. So sometimes I refuse people because I feel that either they never had a good relationship or strong relationship, or it was just one-sided. And I feel that they're not, or I feel that they're not motivated. They're not willing to put the effort. They're not willing to go the hard way, because it is a bit painful. It is long. It's always longer than we expect. So you have to be 100% committed, 100% focused. Then the last one is really be true to yourself. Be true to yourself. Is it something that you can really repair? Did you fuck it up big time, or is just because of time, because of complacency, that the relationship sort of deteriorated and your ex decided to end? So really I can't answer the question for you. Be honest with yourself. Sometimes we like to blind ourselves thinking that yes, it can be fixed, where in reality, when you look really with honesty about the situation, you know already that it's really, really difficult. And also, if you're not sure, and that's why I have I put together a quiz, is for you to know if you have any chance to get back with your ex. It's very simple. It's a quiz that you answer, I don't know, about 20 questions, or even less, 18 questions. It takes literally 2 minutes to complete. The link is in the first comment of the video and also in the description. Click on it, have a look, and it gives you a score. If you have a score above 15, it means that you have a chance to get back with your ex. I obviously assess those things, whether your relationship is serious, whether you're motivated, whether there's a chance to, whether it could be reparable. So if you're not sure, you can take the quiz. If you're sure that you get back together, then good for you. You can continue watching the video. So these are the ingredients. In this recipe, you need to have those ingredients. You can't swap them with other ingredients. If it's a meat-free burger, you don't add meat, right? So in this one, really important to stick with those ingredients. You can add ingredients. As I mentioned at the beginning, you can add ingredients, make your own, make it your own, obviously, but you need those ingredients. Really important. Second thing is the utensil, what you're going to use, the method, and the method is after. So what you need to help you cook this recipe, it's a support system. And I'm not necessarily talking about me. It could be a therapist, it could be your best friend who is here for you. I guess perhaps right now you have friends who are very supportive. Sometimes they are very supportive, but just for weeks, and after they're just fed up of hearing from you, complaining or hearing about your ex. Because very often, and I've been those kind of people, to be honest, you have friends saying, "I move on, you'll find better, it's okay, one lost, 10 found, it's, you shouldn't be sad, move on, it's okay, it's been a month, it's been 2 months, come on." So that's really important. The second thing, it is the energy level. And when I talk about energy, it's really about the emotional aspect and also physical. So I'm pretty sure you feel emotionally drenched. I think you feel also, lack of sleeping, you eat badly. And it's very important to manage your energy level, whether it's physical or mental. It is very important because where we're going to go is really a bumpy road and a long road. So it's really important to manage your energy level, because otherwise you'll give up and you'll fail. And also the third thing that is very important, I think, is really to gain clarity. It's really a race. You need to know where you're going, and also you need to know what you should be doing. So what do you have to do? What is the plan? What do you have to do? What are the actions you need to take right now if you want to get back with your ex? You can work backward. I want to get back with my ex. Okay, then look back at what were the problems. What are you doing right now to fix that problem? Create that vision, create that environment. We didn't get along because of the kids or because of the way I was seeing life. I don't know. I wanted to go living in the city and she wanted to go to live in the countryside. So create that vision. Maybe that's an opportunity for you to create that environment, because when it comes to getting back with her, to get in connection with her or him, then you'll be in that environment and they'll feel like it will be natural. This is what you have to create. This recipe is really about not spoon feeding your ex, right? It's really, you have to really create something that is yummy, that is attractive, and that your ex wants to taste. I don't know if choosing this comparison with a meal is a good one, but let's give it a try anyway. The method. For the method, I wanted to compare, and I thought that it was relevant to compare getting back with an ex and making cheese. Apart from the smell, obviously, and making French cheese. And I got the idea by watching the documentary Cooked on Netflix, and there's a chapter on Earth. And the chapter on Earth is how you can use microorganisms to cook food and to mature food and to give that extra flavor, to give that the texture and all the taste. And so the way you make cheese, obviously you take milk and you ferment it and so on. But after that, this is what you have to do. It needs to mature. Good cheese needs to mature. They put it in a cave and they let it mature. Now, what they do is they don't let it still and wait 6 months and then come back. It's not like wine. It's a slow process, obviously. It takes months to make a good cheese. And that's what's bring the flavor of that cheese, okay? If you make pasteurized, very quick industrial cheese, that's not really good, right? So if you want to have proper French cheese, it requires a slow process. But as I said, there's microorganism. It's alive. The reason we leave it in a cave, and sometimes they rub it with water and salt to really get all this almost a tiny city of microorganisms living on there. Really making that system working for the cheese and for you, if you want to taste the cheese. But it needs constant work. When you make cheese, sometimes you have to rub it, depends on the cheese, You have to rub it, you have to turn it, you have to pat it. It's really hard work because you have to do that constantly. And you can't leave a cheese just like that. And the last time is, yeah, time does the work. So it's a bit of doing that work and let it time do the thing. You can't accelerate that process. You can't put the cheese in the oven, you can't put the cheese outside to accelerate the process. You have to respect that process. And in that sense, it's very similar to getting back with an ex. You have to respect a certain rhythm. What you have to understand is when your ex took that decision, there's a few things you have to understand, and it's very important what I'm going to say now. When someone decides to end a relationship, first of all, he took that decision way before he announced or she announced it to you. You have to understand that for a few weeks and few months, they assessed the situation and you didn't pass those exams or those assessments, and it resulted in them taking that decision. And so whenever we feel that we need to stay in touch, to argue, to say like, actually you're wrong, I can change, it is too late because you failed already those assessments before. And it is why you have to respect that rhythm of let it breathe, okay? Let your ex breathe, let yourself breathe, because they had the decision. Let them release that pain, that pressure. And I talked about pressure in another video. It's really important. Now that's the first thing. The second thing you need to know is that in most cases, there's been studies about that, about 70 to 80% of people, when they make a decision to break up with their partner, they're not sure. They're not sure. They say like, okay, this is so painful. I feel it's the right choice to break up with my partner. I think I'll be happier without him or her. Let's take the leap of faith. Let's have that talk. Let's break up with them. And so they're not sure. And so these two things are very important. You have to remember that. In most cases, in the vast majority of the cases, a dumper is not so sure about his decision. And very often, that's what I do with my clients, they change their decision. People change decisions. If we are able to show them that we put the work, if we are able to show them that actually, well, the data that they used to assess about the relationship was wrong. The data that they used to assess whether you were the right fit, whether you could make it work, is no longer relevant because it's changed. Okay, so it's very important, and this is why the method of getting back with an ex is similar to cheese. I don't know why I chose cheese. I don't know whether I chose cheese, but don't get fixated with the smell of cheese. Cheese is amazing, right? The first thing is obviously no contact, and that's why I told you about let it breathe, let it mature. And you bring those ingredients that we talked about. Being motivated, no contact is fucking hard. I've been there. It's so hard. You want to contact your ex. You want to get news. You want to get answers from them, but you can't. So it's hard. So really, really stay motivated. It's very important. Clear with what you need to do. No contact, when I do no contact with my clients, they have to work. It's not so much about, okay, I'm just putting my phone down for a month and just wait for a sign. No, you have to work hard. You have to be clear of how you do it. You have a plan. How do you make that plan comes alive? You have an accountability framework. What are your goals? What are your KPIs if you're a consultant? And also, along with that is the energy level, because it's tough, because it's long, because you need to achieve, you need to go to step outside of your comfort zone, you need to manage your energy level. So are you sleeping well? Are you eating well? Are you doing sports? You need to really boost your dopamine levels, your endorphins and all those kind of stuff to go and be motivated and stay focused. Because if you're not, if you don't have all those 4 ingredients, no contact is useless. Because it means you don't progress, you don't have the energy to progress, and then the ex, what your ex would see is just no change. It's just a status quo. Would they change their decision if they see that it's exactly the same as when they decided to end the relationship? Not so sure. So don't stay doing nothing. It is so important. So it's great that you're watching video, learning about what you should be doing. It's amazing. High five to you. Now it's really how you can apply those tips. What can you do today? What can you do this week to make yourself closer to getting back with your ex? Develop yourself, get a coach, personal trainer coach like I do to lift some weight. A coach if you feel that, a coach or a therapist like myself, if you want to cope with that anxiety. We talked about the mental health, or the energy levels. Could also be like you can't sleep because you're thinking about your ex. So how can you declutter that? How you can release that pressure? How you can fight an anxiety? So find someone to speak with. Find someone also to be there for you. It could be your best friend. It could be someone who could help you, give you a hand and push you to give yourself 100%, even not 120%. Now, when you make cheese, you have to assess where it is in the maturing process. So for me, and I know it depends on cases, it is okay to assess. You have to do no contact for honestly at least 4, 5 or 6 weeks. And it depends on the length of a relationship. So I can't give an exact number. It would be, and that's why when I see that online, it's like, it doesn't make sense to say 31 days. Why 31 days? I don't know. Some people it's more, some people it's less. It's more than 2 weeks for sure. So it's okay to assess when you feel that you've worked, when you feel that you've changed, and you want to show your ex that you've progressed. You want to show your ex that you're different, that what they envision of your relationship can be different. So it's okay to assess. There are various techniques to do that. What I would highly recommend is not to deviate from the recipe. You can add stuff, but don't remove anything. And then you just serve when it's hot, meaning at some point, when you do no contact, it's good also to re-engage with your ex. The idea of re-engaging with your ex is not just to send a message saying, hey, how are you? Is to see them. So you get that messaging phase, and then date 1, date 2, date 3, getting back together. So it's really important for you to have this in mind. It's not so much about getting your ex unblocked or getting a message from your ex. The end goal is that, the mid goal is to be seeing them face to face. Find ways to do that. I can't really give you, and I don't want to give you strict rules because it depends on the cases. And if you're not sure whether you should contact your ex, how long should be on the contact, what you should send to your ex, don't hesitate to ask me. I left my WhatsApp number in the description, and you can also book a free consultation with me to have a discussion. I love to have those chats with you and meet with you virtually so we can discuss your cases. And I love, because I have people from all around the world, Iran, Bahrain, States, obviously, the UK, I have some Chinese clients, Australia. So it's amazing, and I'd love to have a new country on my map. So if you're, I don't know, exotic country or countries, I even had someone from the Cayman Islands. So take some time to have a look in the description and like the video and subscribe. I love you. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
igetmyexback.com. Everyone deserves a second chance.